Hi, everybody. Welcome to writing. This week, what we're going to do is we are going to break a paragraph down so that you feel more comfortable doing them. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make a mind map on a sheet of paper. Now, this can be in your spiral, which is your line paper, or this could simply be on a clean piece of white typing paper or art paper. This is the way I always start before I ever take notes on a subject. All right, now the paper, as you can tell, is what they call landscape. Portrait is when it's up and down and it's shorter from side to side. This is landscape where I lay the paper down like I want it really wide out to the sides. It can be done the other way. This just gives you more room to draw the circles. Now, the number one mistake that kids make is they don't draw the circles large enough. All right. And it's very important that your circles are big enough that you can write in. All right. So, what I do is I judge and I think, okay, I need a really big circle at the top where I can write my topic sentence. And if you notice, that's about a fourth of the way down. If my paper was broken into fourths, I would be about a fourth of the way down because I want that large enough that I can write in it. And some of you are still writing like huge letters and you need to get smaller in your writing. Now, the next step I do is I say, okay, in a good second grade informational paper, I need to write 3 facts and details about a subject. So what I do is I think, okay, I want a big circle there. I want a big circle there. And I want a big circle there. All right. And if you notice, I've left that same amount of size as my top circle. All right. Now what I do is I drew a repeat of the top one down here for my conclusion. All right. And they don't have to be perfect because what this does is this is your topic sentence up here at the top. These are your reason, details, and facts in the middle, and your conclusion is on the bottom. All right. Now pause this and draw this. All right. So now you've drawn a mind map for what we're doing today. And that is the first step. If it takes you a couple of times of drawing the mind map where you can get these circles big enough, then you need to do that because it needs to take up the whole piece of paper. The whole piece of paper. And if you notice, if you have the paper up and down like you normally read a piece of paper, it doesn't work as well as if it's landscape. Okay, so now we have our mind map. All right. This is what it looks like so I can type in it. So I've done the very same mind map. I've only done it where I can type in it where you can read it easily. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my information. This is your whole story right here in front of you right now. Listen to me read it to you, and then we're going to think of just a topic sentence today. You're going to write it, and that's all we're doing today in writing. Because I want you to get really good at doing this and coming up with a topic sentence, being able to draw a mind map and fit in your facts and understand how to do it. Okay, it says, if you were a jellyfish, you would have 2 choices, to go up or to go down. That's it, 2. You would not have a brain, so you could not decide what to have for breakfast or where to go for lunch. The ocean currents would carry you along from place to place. In this way, you could travel hundreds of miles. Food might pass you by and get caught in your tentacles, or not. Sea turtles, dolphins, and whale sharks would try to eat you. You wouldn't worry about it because you couldn't. You would just float on. You would protect yourself with millions of tiny mechanical cells that, when touched by another animal, release a chemical and sting, like a bow and arrow. You would not know if you were stinging a friend or an enemy. You would not even know what a friend or an enemy was. Jellyfish sting for protection and to catch food. That's all. They don't hunt and they can't chase. They just bump and sting, bump and sting. Some jellyfish sting gently. Some jellyfish have a sting so powerful that they are more dangerous than a cobra. These are the Australian box jellies. Jellyfish are so simple that they look like plastic trash floating in the sea. When an animal eats a jellyfish, it stays healthy and strong. When an animal eats plastic, it gets weaker and weaker and eventually dies. Some jellyfish lie on the shallow bottom in clear, warm seas and grow their own food. These are called upside down jellyfish. Once they have eaten small bits of algae, just once, they can grow more inside their bodies by sitting in the sun. They are their own greenhouses and grocery stores, all wrapped up in one. To be a jellyfish, you need to be shaped like a bell with at least one mouth and tentacles. Many animals called jellyfish are really something else. The Portuguese man-o-war is not a real jellyfish. It has an air-filled bubble instead of a water-filled bell. Jellyfish are almost all water and a little protein. They look slimy and disgusting when they wash up on the beach. In the sea, jellyfish are beautiful. There are jellyfish as big as basketballs with long red tentacles called West Coast sea nettles. There are tiny, elegant jellyfish that look like a blizzard of snowflakes. There are jellyfish that grow so big that they are as long as a blue whale. They are called Arctic lion's mane jellyfish. They pulse and drift. They eat and reproduce. They live and die, all without a heart or a brain. Someday you might be lucky and see an ocean full of jellyfish, and since you have a brain and a heart, you would know you were seeing something unforgettable. All right, so after I read my passage, what I do before I ever start writing is I think, okay, how can I introduce my reader to what I'm talking about? All right, that is a topic sentence. I have written one already. It says, jellyfish are interesting little creatures that live in oceans all around the world. All right, here is another one that I could type. And this is the most difficult part. I could say jellyfish are little marine animals that float in oceans all around the world. Okay, that's a good one. Jellyfish are just one of the many creatures that live in oceans all over Earth. That's another one. Another one are jellyfish are unique animals that inhabit, this is a better one, inhabit, which means live, inhabit seas and oceans on Earth. Okay, now, those are topic sentences. They all introduce, except I left out a word right there because I reread it. They all introduce our reader to what we're talking about. Okay, this is your job. You are going to go back to your mind map. You're going to go back to your mind map that you drew, this one. You are going to put in one of our topic sentences in the top circle of your mind map today, and that's your job. Okay, now, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video right here in just a minute, and you're going to read these 4 topic sentences again. You're going to choose one, and you're going to write it in the top part of your mind map. Now, what I did is I wrote these rather fast today, didn't I? Because I know how to write a topic sentence, but did you notice that it's jellyfish? They're little animals or creatures. They live in the oceans all around the world or all over Earth. They're unique. We could talk about how they're unique in this one. I used a better word for live, but none of these really give facts yet. All right, so you're going to pause the video at this point, and you are going to write one of these topic sentences, only one, in your top circle. When you're done with that, you are done for today in writing. All right? So have a good time, and I'm going to stop now. And tomorrow we will talk about the facts.